Don't let your passion become your obsession. Let me cook just for a second. I feel like a lot of people end up getting so deeply involved in what they're passionate about that they allow it to basically become their life. Like their goal is their life. They have nothing else to live for, nothing else to go about, nothing else makes their day or their life other than what they are passionate about. And getting sucked in so deep into something that you're passionate about, that can be a dangerous thing because inevitably you don't realize it, but you really don't have anything else going on in your life. Whatever it is that you want to do, whatever it is that you want to be, there's nothing wrong with it. But letting it consume you to the point where there are no other goals, nothing else matters. Nothing else matters. And it's just, this is it. This is it. This is it right here. I have to be a filmmaker. I have to be a writer. I have to be a painter. I have to graduate college. I have to get married. I have to be this. I have to be that. Telling yourself that and just drilling that so deep into your brain, it takes a toll on you, and it really does something to you that you really don't see until the day comes where you finally get what you want. When you finally get what you want and you finally reach that promised land, and then you realize something, you reach the finish line, you've reached your goal. And I've talked about this in other videos before. You finally do it. But the joy that you've always, that passion, everything you've worked so hard for, that feeling that you have been waiting so long to feel, it's not there. You reach the finish line and you're empty. You have nothing. You feel like you have nothing, even though you just got the one thing in the world that you wanted. And you feel nothing. And now you sit there and you ask yourself, I have done everything to get to this point, and now I don't feel anything. Why? Why do I feel so empty? Why do I feel so hollow? Why do I still feel like something in my life is missing? Why do I feel this way? I'll tell you why. You allowed your passion to become your obsession. You stopped being passionate about the journey. You stopped being passionate about the learning experiences along the way, the discovering of new things. You became so laser focused on the finish line that everything else that was happening, it didn't matter to you. You didn't even notice it. You didn't even notice the new things that you were learning, the amazing people that you met, that you didn't even take the time to get to know because you were just so obsessed with winning. And now that you finally won the title, you have nothing. There's no joy. There's no celebration. There's no fireworks. There's no spark. There's nothing but the win. And when all you have is the win, what comes after that, it means nothing. You don't realize the fact that even when you reach this finish line, there's still so much to learn in your life. There's still so many new experiences, new opportunities. You just reached one goal, but that one goal became your obsession. So now you're so fixated on, why don't I feel happy? Why don't I feel happy and joy, even though I just got everything that I want? That you're so obsessed with that, you don't even bother to try to learn anything new. You don't even bother to try to keep moving forward. You just reached the finish line and you stopped. And that's what happened. You just stopped because you don't know where else to go from here. You don't know what else to do. You have no idea what else to do from here on in. because you were so obsessed with that one goal. You were so obsessed with that one thing. Let me tell you something. There are so many experiences in life that are worth learning, that are ready for you to learn. They are ready to teach you. There are so many things in this world that God is willing to let you learn. But if you are not willing to learn that, if you become so fixated on what you want, then when the day comes, you finally get what you want, you are going to feel so hollow and you're going to feel so empty because all that work was for nothing. Reaching the finish line was for nothing. It meant nothing because now you have nothing else going. You got what you wanted, but you didn't learn anything else along the way. You ignored all the lessons because you just wanted to win. You were so fixated on winning. Well, you won now. So where do you go from there? Therein lies the question. Therein lies the reality, and therein lies the revelation of the journey is even when you reach the end, it's not the end. It's only the end when you're breathing no longer. That's when the end comes. The end of the journey is not the end of you. That's what you need to remember, and that's what you need to really understand. You just finished one chapter in your life. You didn't finish your story. Your story's far from over. You just finished one chapter. It's the same as meeting new people and experiencing new people or finding a new boyfriend or new girlfriend or a new friendship. These are new chapters in your life. How long or how short those chapters are, that's completely up to you and them. Mainly up to you. But always remember that it's just a chapter. It's not the end of the story. You got a long way ahead. A long way ahead. It is not over for you. A lot of you may have gotten to the point where you feel like you've done everything you can. I can tell you right now, you're wrong. You have not done everything. If you feel like you've done everything, then you might as well just delete. You might as well just hang it up, call it quits. Don't do anything else. I'm telling you, there's so much more in this world that is worth learning, that is worth knowing, that is worth experiencing, that is going to teach you so much about yourself. This world is prepared for you to learn so many new things about yourself. You just got to be prepared to keep going. Even when you do reach the finish line, guess what? Another race is about to start. Another journey is about to start. You just close that chapter. Pick up that pen again, take a breath, and get ready to start the new one. Don't become so obsessed with one goal when there are millions upon millions of other goals out there in the world for you. Passion and obsession, those are two different things. You need to remain passionate about life. You need to remain passionate about yourself and what else you can learn and how much more you can grow. The finish line is not the end of your growth. So if it's not the end of your growth, then what makes you think it's going to be the end of your passion? That passion is in here. That passion is in your heart. Let that shit grow. Keep going. Keep moving. You won. You hit that tag. You reached the finish line. Keep pushing. Keep pushing forward. Quit looking back at what was and start looking forward to what can be, because there's so much more. There is always more. Another thing I think that people don't realize about obsession and being obsessed with a goal is your obsession stems from your fear of losing. It stems from a fear of failing. Obsession is in fear. Those two go together like peas and carrots, like peanut butter and jelly. When you are obsessed with something, that is because you are afraid of losing something. You are afraid of losing because you probably feel like you've lost so much in your life that you don't want to lose again. Not wanting to lose again is one of the dumbest things ever. That is one of the dumbest feelings. You're afraid of losing. If you're afraid of losing, then you will never be prepared to win. You will never be ready to truly celebrate the victory. You can't celebrate a victory if you don't know how to appreciate the losses. If you don't know how to appreciate your failures, then you will never be able to bask in your own success. You will never be able to do that, because now your whole goal and obsession is just winning, winning. Next finish line. I got to win. I got to win. This is all I do is I win. Let me tell you something, man. In my life personally, I've lost more than I've won. I have been so passionate about things in my life to where as I become obsessed with them. There was a point where I was so obsessed with becoming a filmmaker. I was so obsessed with it. I needed it. I needed it. And when I finally finished my first film, it was like, it felt good. But at the same time, it's like, okay, there's got to be more to it than this. And this is where I started learning that this isn't just a job. This isn't just a mission. You can have fun. You can enjoy things. You can enjoy the journey. And this is where I really started enjoying my journey in the content creating and the filmmaking. And it's gotten me so much of what I realized I truly wanted in life was to learn. And I realized that's really what my passion has been as of late. It's just learning new things. I've always been passionate about learning new things. And I feel like a lot of us need to do that. We have hobbies. Yes, we have things that we're good at, but there's so much other things that you can get good at. You can learn. You don't know how to cook. Go learn how to cook. You don't know how to ride a bike. Go ride a bike. You've always wanted to. Things that you've always wanted to do. All you have on this earth is time. You might as well make the best use of the time that you have, because you only get one chance in this life. Are you going to waste that chance on just learning one thing and just stopping? Why would you stop? Don't stop. Don't stop learning. That's the problem. Like, people stop learning. They lose the willingness to learn. And I've talked about this in other videos. You cannot lose your willingness to learn. And I have been blessed to still have that willingness to learn new things. Everyone that I bring into my life, I'm prepared for them to teach me something new, not just about them, not just about life. Teach me something new about myself. Everyone I've met in the past 3 years, 3 years, everyone I've met has taught me something new about myself. They brought out something in me, a confidence in me. They've expanded and helped my confidence grow. And they've helped my willingness to learn grow. And I thank each and every one of them for that to this day. Some I still associate with, some I unfortunately don't associate with, but I still thank them to this day. Every journey, every encounter is a lesson learned. I've said this also. You have to be willing to learn the lessons, but you still got to be willing to fail. Stop being afraid of losing. You're going to lose. Because if you don't lose, you don't learn. Keep learning. That's the goal. Keep learning. Because when you keep learning, you can keep going. You can keep pushing to win more. You can keep pushing to expand. Because it's not just about winning. It's about growing. And growth is always more important than victory. Because in the end, growth is victory. Think about it. If you've reached the end of this video, I want to thank you so much for tuning in. Also, thank you guys so much for the love and support. Thank you so much for watching these videos. To this day, I hope that whoever watches these, it teaches you something. It helps you in a way. These videos have helped me. Not just the audience, but they've also helped myself. Sometimes I go back, and if I have a point of relapse in my life, I go back and watch these videos. They're not just inspirational for others, but they're inspirational for me as well, because it gives me more of a reason to be, more of a reason to keep going in my own personal journeys and reaching my own personal goals. So I thank you guys again for that. I want to thank you guys for inspiring me to continue as well. Also, if you're new to this channel, do not be a stranger. Hit the like button, subscribe, and share. Also, happy early Memorial Day. We're a day away from that. So whatever you guys have planned, I hope you stay safe, stay healthy, stay blessed. And as always, in case nobody else tells you, I'll tell you. I love you, and I'm proud of you. Keep it up.